Greetings, I'm Bairnt, and welcome to the One-Stop Co-op Shop. We're continuing our playthrough of Machina Arcana. Now we're still in Chapter 1, and we're trying to take out a couple more monsters, and hopefully we can activate this space so that we can move on in the chapter. Now before we continue the playthrough, there's some things that I want to go over from the last video. There's a lot of rules in the rulebook that kind of work together like I was talking about earlier in the last video, and there are some ones I want to discuss directly so that we all understand everything that's going on. The first one I want to talk about is this character right here, the Moon Beast. Now I got a lot of great comments from everybody, but I want to thank Peter, and I also want to thank Machina Arcana themselves for coming on and teaching me a little bit more about the game. In this, you're going to see that this pull ability takes 2 stamina and has a 3 range. Now before I mentioned that these event spaces don't block line of sight when it comes to range, but it does if it has a certain type of symbol. This is the range symbol for those blocking it. So he can't ever see me to pull unless I'm actually in an unaffected line so that he can actually do it. From back here, this space is actually blocking his line of sight. Now, in the other words thing, there is this right here, this force alternator. Notice its symbol down here is a little bit different. This does not get blocked by obstacles. So this attack could go through these squares. So this is actually really powerful. Also, I want to mention that this ability up here, notice it's all white. That means that if I do 2 stamina, I can do both of these things in one shot. And of course, it is a ranged weapon. It does attack with range. The other piece of equipment I want to talk about is this venom. Remember at the end of near the end of the video, I wasn't exactly sure what was going on here. So you use 1 essence, discard the card. Now notice there's no target here. So that means that this is actually going to attack you. So you're basically injecting this venom into you to give yourself a +3 to all your attack rolls this round. So this isn't actually that bad if you can survive the 1 attack. And that's true of all these type of things that don't have an actual target. The default is the character or monster that's using the ability. The last thing I want to talk about is this ability here. This one is very similar to Jesse's. Arcane attack, reduce the attack rolls by 1 this round. So this is actually affecting the monsters. It's not affecting me. It's not going to reduce the attack roll that I'm rolling. It reduces the attack of the person that I'm targeting, whether or not I actually damage the creature. The other thing I said I would talk about was the fact that we used to have a monster here, and basically I was talking about trying to target him, and it was this one. And since he has this extra little symbol here, he would be able to target me through these points. And I actually moved him down here to target me. He didn't have to. He could have attacked me straight from that space. But he's dead, and actually the entire attack went exactly how it should have because he actually had 5 stamina. So he should have attacked me for 2. He would have lost 1 stamina due to my Fuzz Hamata, who actually makes me lose a stamina. That would have left him with 2 stamina to be able to attack again. So the outcome was the same, and it should have happened the way it did, but he should have actually attacked me from this square. I hope that all made sense. Again, I just want to mention that these 2 little symbols are a little bit different when it comes to the range. This one can ignore obstacles, this one cannot. So that's something that I have to keep in mind. The last final thing we have to do is he should actually have 1 more essence. I forgot to gain an essence when I picked up my first chest. So we're going to go ahead and give him that extra essence. Now, if you're excited to see if our characters can actually make it through Chapter 1, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop. So now I have to decide who wants to go first. We're going to go ahead and have Artemis go first. I've got a trick that I'm going to try, thanks to Peter who taught me this. I'm going to move him 1 square for 1 essence. So we're going to take him down to 5. And from here, we're actually going to use this special ability. This ability is going to be awesome. I didn't realize how awesome this was until he taught me. It says right here, move up to 2 spaces. It costs 2 stamina, 1 essence, and it can target even through obstacles. So I'm going to pay 1 essence and 2 stamina to use this ability. And we're going to go ahead and use it 1, 2 on this guy. And I can move him up to 2 squares. I'm only going to move him 1. I'm going to drop him right in a pit. So when a monster actually goes into a pit, he is going to die. So this monster will be removed from the board. And we're going to go ahead and make sure he doesn't have when he dies abilities. No, it just says when he's adjacent to a wall, he is ethereal. And that is not true. He's not adjacent to a wall. Now for killing that monster, I am going to gain back my essence. Now here comes the super mean trick. This is awesome. All right, I've got this Byakhee. It says when a monster dies, this monster teleports to that monster's position. Well, guess where that monster died from? Right there. So bye-bye, Byakhee. Your wings are not going to save you this time. He also has gone ahead and died when he landed in this pit. So again, we're going to gain 1 essence for killing that creature as well. Talking about clearing a board, that's how you do it. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I'm going to go ahead now with my last 3 stamina and move 1, 2, 3. It's time to get up here so we can activate this chapter space. So that's going to be the rest of his essence. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to move into Jesse's turn. Now Jesse is next to the chapter space, but again, he's only got 2 stamina and 3 to activate it. So he's actually going to use this chest. So we're going to go ahead and start by putting an explored token on it, just because I probably might forget otherwise. And we're going to gain an essence for that. So his essence is going to go to 3, and he's going to use 1, 2, 3 stamina to activate that chest. So again, I get to choose 2 different cards, and I kind of always want to take the apparel card just because you never know, I might get something that I can equip and that's going to be fantastic. These are like my bonus items. Let's see what we want. I think let's go with an artifact. Maybe we can get something that can help him with his will stat because it's pretty low. Let's see what we found. We found, oh, what is this? It is hobnailed boots. On horror event, move 1 space. Oh, and it also gives me more protection. I kind of want some protection of my mind. Oh, this artifact looked kind of good. I saw protection for my mind. Let's see what it says. Reflexic Sextant. On new round, move up to 1 space. When you activate recharge station, restore 1 stamina. Oh, that's going to be really good. I'm actually going to give this to him. I think this will be better than the boots. I've got a lot of defense already for my armor. I would actually want to find some defense against my will. So he's going to take this card, and we're going to have to put it into his inventory because he can't auto-equip artifacts. So I'm actually going to use 1 of my stamina to move over here. That's going to be it. I'm not going to use any other stamina. The reason I'm only moving 1 square is because when we go to activate this space, this chapter space, if I bring him up to do it, they can kind of do it together. Whoever's activating it becomes the active person, but the other person could help by giving essence. So in case we want to, instead of using all the essence from 1 character, we might be able to divvy this up a little bit so some people can keep some of their essence. So Jesse's going to go ahead and lose 1 more stamina, but that's really going to be the end of his turn. He has 2 stamina left. Actually, I think what he's going to do, he's going to use this just to increase the armor and will by 1 this round. I don't think it's going to help us too much, but I'm going to do it. And it has a range of 2, and it can actually go ahead and target somebody up to 3 spaces, even through obstacles. So I think he's going to go ahead and use it on our other character. To signify this, I'm going to give Artemis this token to remind myself that he has +1 armor and +1 will. And that will be Jesse's final 2 stamina. Wow, that wasn't too bad of a turn. We're now going to move into the spawn phase, and if we look at our activation token here, it's at 5. So we need to roll 5 or more in order to have a monster appear, or maybe 4 or less and no monsters, which would be even better. So we're going to go ahead and roll our black die, not red die, because the red die was being mean to me. And we got a 5. That's enough to have a monster spawn. So we're going to go reset our track back to 7 and spawn a monster. So let's see what Jesse found laying around the ruins. He found, oh, a tree. What is this? Cthulhu. If wounded, monsters exists. In 1 square way, restore 1 health to monsters. Otherwise, arcane attack 3 explorers. Oh, are you kidding me? This hits everything on the board. Okay, and it's only 1. Okay, he only has 1 stamina, and he also is immobile. So he actually is not going to move. He's got 3 defense against arcane and 4 against will. All right, we're going to put him down right there in the track, and he's going to gain his 1 health chip, and we're going to go put him on the board. Let's find his standee in here. He's a giant tree. That's awesome. All right, he is right here. We're going to put him on the board as close as we can to Jesse. So this monster is going to spawn right here. That's the closest spawn point to Jesse. He's 1, 2 squares away. Now that's pretty good because both of our guys can actually attack him. But he's going to be going before us. First, we have to do the horror phase. Now, if we look at our horror track, it's at 3, so this is going to be even tougher. So let's go ahead and roll up our die. We need to get a 2 or a 1. We got a 7. That's not even close. So we're going to reset our horror track to 4, and then we're going to go ahead and draw a horror event. So let's see what horrors befall our brave adventurers. Abominable blast. We had initially thought that should we keep enough distance between ourselves and the eldritch abominations, we might just be able to stay alive. We were wrong. They rallied themselves with a piercing cry, and with it came a blast of cosmic energy intent on reducing us to piles of gore. Now we fight. There is no place to run, no place to hide. 3 range, 3 line, without line of sight, arcane attack 2. The monsters now have this ability. That's not awesome. We're going to put that here. Now that means that this is going to be active until we actually get rid of it, until we can draw another horror event. So we actually want to trigger the horror event next turn, most likely. Now that is going to be what the monsters do if they can. And we also have to move our threat up to 5. We're halfway to putting in level 2 monsters. And we haven't even made it out of chapter 1. So now if we look at our abominable blast, it does say you need 3 stamina and a range of 3 in order to be able to do this arcane attack. Now lucky for us, our monster actually only has 1 stamina, so he can't do that. So instead, he's just going to use his 1 stamina to do his otherwise arcane attack 3 all explorers, which is just pretty much as bad. So now we're going to have to roll our 3 white dice. Now this is an arcane attack, meaning this could be absolutely devastating. Oh wow, 2, 4, 5. He got a 5 in his arcane attack. So I'm sure that hits everybody, but let's go check. So the first person to check is Artemis. And sure enough, Artemis has 3 defense against arcane attacks. He does get +1 because of that awesome force alternator, but sadly that's not going to help. He's going to go ahead and take 1 wound. Wow, we're getting absolutely demolished. Now poor Jesse, he doesn't have anything that's going to help him with his arcane. He only has 2. I am going to lose an essence to prevent 1 of the damage. So we're totally going to be done with this guy. That was absolutely devastating. He's just draining our essence again. I'm never going to light this thing. All right, we're going to go into our explorer's turn, and our explorers are going to start with Jesse, because Jesse has that, what is it, force alternator. So he's going to go ahead and attack with it. He gets to roll 1 black and 1 white die, and he has a range of 3 that again ignores obstacles for 2 stamina. Now sadly, our little trick with him to drop him into the pit isn't going to work because our creature is immobile, so I can't actually move him. So we're going to instead have to kill him with our force alternator. So to use our force alternator, it's going to cost us 2 stamina. So Cthulhu, our giant tree here, has a 3 willpower, which means we need to get a 3 or better with our force accelerator, which is attacking with a white and black die. Now something I could do if I decided to is I could use 2 more stamina to increase the armor and will by 1 and decrease the armor and will by 1. I think we're going to do that. That's a good idea. So we're going to take Jesse's essence down to 2, and we're going to increase his own will and armor, but we're going to decrease this Cthulhu's armor and willpower to a 3 and a 2 and see if we can get him. Oh, we got a 2 exactly. Wow, I'm so glad I did that. All right, so we have actually killed Cthulhu because he only has 1 health, and thanks to our force accelerator, and he is able to target through obstacles with this. This thing's absolutely amazing. I'm a big fan of this thing. So we've gone ahead and killed Cthulhu. So that means we're going to go ahead and gain another essence. We're going to give him back his token. He's also going to get his force accelerator back because that thing's amazing. And we're going to discard Cthulhu into the discard pile and remove his standee from the board. Now sadly, it's going to take him 3 essence to activate that, and it also takes him 3 stamina. And because I didn't think about that, because now that I've used my force accelerator, I can't actually do that. So instead, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 with this guy. He's going to move up here, and then he is going to use his last 3 stamina to activate this chapter space. So these guys are going to work together. He's going to lose 1, and Jesse's going to lose 2. They're going to work together to do this. Now it took him 1, 2, 3 to move, and 1, 2, 3 to activate this chapter space. But that's the best thing I think I can do. Now, of course, I'm so low on health, it's out of control. I need to find a way to heal. I think we need to get some consumables or something that's going to be able to heal our guys. But since we were able to activate that chapter space, we're going to move in to the next chapter. Chapter 2, The Trail of Blood. And here's our next chapter, Trail of Blood. Although the curious ornamentation on the pillars attested to the great mastery of their creator, should you focus on their fluid curves at length, their sinister and alien contours would force themselves to repeat endlessly in your mind. Tearing my eyes from the sight, I noticed various trinkets scattered on the floor that resembled standard exploration equipment. Is it possible that we are not the first from our era to set foot here? My suspicions grew stronger as our advance revealed yet further signs of cult involvement. Suddenly, I lost my balance and I had to brace myself against the wall for support. Ignoring the cold, organic feel of the stone, I gazed at my foot. My heart skipped a beat when I realized I stood in a thick puddle of blood. There is no body or signs of struggle, just a dark, congealing ooze, trailing forward out of sight. We dared not look at each other, lest we see the fear in our companions' faces as we followed the trail into the darkness. So now we're into chapter 2, and this is a locked chapter. It says right here, so there must be something on this card that we have to do in order to continue. So it says here, and we could spend health to move 3 spaces. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Now to go to the next chapter, we have to 4 times lose 1 health. So we only have 1 to begin with in each of our characters. We have to heal ourselves and then spend our health in order to go forward. We have to add to this trail of blood. Now we also get to do this because this has now been revealed. It says explorers move up to 2 spaces, so that will help get us going. I think at this point we have to start moving to try to get to another tile. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Our characters are going to kind of move around together. I think that's going to be our best bet. We're going to be able to leave this tile and go to a new one. The other thing we could do is up here is another set of workbenches and activation things. We could maybe try some of those before we go on. We'll see how the spawn phase goes. And speaking of spawn phase, we have to reset our things because now we have a new chapter space. It starts at 6 now, so we have even a better chance of finding monsters. Wow. But this horror rating still stays at a 4. So we're going to go ahead and roll for our spawn phase. We're going to roll for Artemis first. He's going to roll, and he got, oh, there's our 10. Wow, this one gets 10s too. All right, so we're going to spawn 1 monster. So Artemis, what have you spawned for us? It is a Migo. He's got 3 armor, 4 willpower, 2 health, and 5 stamina. Oh, no. And he can do an arcane attack with 3, 2 stamina. Oh, this is going to be terrible. When this monster dies, attacker invokes an explore event. Okay, all we need to do is at least survive him. I could again try to drop him in a pit, which probably wouldn't be the end of the world because this guy looks pretty tough. We're going to put 2 health on him, and then we're going to go ahead and take his standee and put it on the board. So he's going to go ahead and spawn right here. The other spawn gate is way over there, and this one is closer to our explorers. Now we can't forget about our abominable blast that's still in effect. If we get to have to deal with this, we might get shot, which is going to be awesome. But hopefully we're going into the horror phase after we get done spawning, and maybe we'll get rid of that card. So now Jesse also has to roll for a spawn. Let's see what he gets. Another 10. Wow, that's 2 10s in a row. That's terrible. So let's see what Jesse has found. He has found a deep one. 3 armor, 3 essence or willpower, 1 health only, 5 willpower. He also attacks at range. Wow, look at that attack. 3. When this monster hits, increase the monster's threat on an 8 or better. Wow. And just when he comes into play, I just increased the monster's threat. Oh man, I don't know about this. I don't think there's any way we're getting through this. All right, again, we're going to put a health chip on him. That's amazing. And we have to increase the monster's threat as this is revealed. Because every time this symbol is on the card, it means enters play, and we have to take care of it. And on top of that, we have to go put his standee on the board. Oh, check out this art. I didn't even realize it. This is like one of those fish from way down underneath. Look at this. It's even got the light in front of it. That's pretty awesome. So our monster threat is going up by 1. Thank you, Mr. Deep One. And he is also going to spawn here. I'm actually going to put him behind this guy. I think he only has a range of 2. So he's not actually going to be able to get me unless he moves around to try to get to me, which is going to be okay because this Mygon guy, he's actually going to go ahead and attack it. I think I can deal with his attacks more than I can deal with this guy's attack. Now that we're done spawning monstrosities, we're going to go ahead and go into our horror phase, which is at a 4. So the good news is we only have to roll this die once. but we got a 9. So we're going to go ahead and take care of a horror event. That could be bad, but right now it's actually worse. I can't think of the card being worse than the one that's on the deck right now. Now the first thing we have to do is raise our threat by 1. We're almost to those level 2 monsters. So let's see what horror affects our adventurers. Dance macabre. A terrible shriek rang through the halls, chilling us to the marrow. Then a brief moment of silence as we peeped nervously into the looming darkness. Alas, our fears were realized when an eerie sounds began anew, growing louder as the now threatening shadows moved towards us reluctantly. Monsters move 2 spaces. Oh, that's terrible. Well, it's terrible, but at least it gets rid of our abominable blast. So we're going to go ahead and put that out there. And here's the monster going to move 2 spaces. Let's see what that does. So we're going to go and move our monsters 2 squares. Now, they're not activating themselves, so I don't believe that any of the abilities they have are going to prevent them from wanting to move. Normally on a monster's turn, if it had like a ranged attack up here, it wouldn't actually normally move to get closer to you. But this isn't activating anything. I think we still move our monsters. We start with him, and he's going to go 1, 2, and then he's going to go 1, 2 as well. They're both going to try to get to us. And now that the horror round is completed, we're going to move into our monster phase. So again, we're with our Mygo. He's going to go ahead with his 5 stamina and move. Now he wants to get he wants to use 2 stamina to hit me with an arcane attack of 3 dice, and it is a melee attack. When the monster dies, attacker invokes a spore event. All right, that's our plan. So he's going to move 1, 2 to try to get to us. Now, of course, our other character, this deep one here, he is going to go ahead and move as well. He's going to move 5 stamina. Now, his ability allows him to have 2 stamina, and he can target 2 range, but again, he can't target through these obstacles. So I think he's just going to move up 2 and stay right there. I don't think they backtrack to try to get to you. I think they try to get to you the best they can. So from where they are, the Mygo is going to go ahead and attack. He's going to go ahead and use his arcane attack. He's only moved 1, 2 squares, giving him 3 stamina, giving him enough to be able to make this attack against our character. From what I understand, we're still considering these mindless. If an explorer ever dies, that person gets to take over the monsters, and then they don't let them become mindless. The way these mindless monsters are going to work is they're going to activate their abilities if they can. If they can't activate abilities, they are going to move towards the closest explorer. And since our deep one back here can't actually target anyone, he's going to have to go ahead to 3. I think he has a range of 2, doesn't he? He has a range of 2. Yeah, he can't target him. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to move here, and 1, 2. He can't target through this place because it's not an ignore obstacle attack, so he is just going to move on up. So our Mygo here is going to go ahead and roll, Mygo is going to roll its 3 arcane attack dice against Artemis. Now Artemis has a 3 arcane defense. He might be okay, and he is going to be okay. He has only rolled a 2, and I have a 3 innate defense, so I actually didn't get hit. I think it's the first time ever we haven't gotten hit by the monster. So that's the end of our activations for our enemies, because of course the deep one's range is 2, but the problem is it doesn't go, it has to go through, it can't go through obstacles, and this is an obstacle right here, so it can actually attack us. That's fantastic. So both of our heroes are going to go ahead, or I should say explorers, are going to bring their stamina back to 6. He's going to lose his token. He actually had a little bit extra defense. And we're going to go ahead and try to take out both of these enemies again. Now I could use both my essence, just drop them right in this pit again with this guy, but I don't think I want to do that. I want to save some of this essence, because remember, I can use essence to prevent myself from taking damage. So I want to try to save as much as I can. Now if we look at our characters, our Mygo here has 3 defense against normal attacks, but he has 4 against arcane. Now if our deep one though is pretty much just the same, straight down the line, 3 and 3. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have Artemis try to take out this guy with his spear, while I have Jesse try to take this guy out with that annihilator thing that he has. Or I mean alternator, not annihilator. Well, it is an annihilator. It annihilated so many people. I think what we're going to do is use Jesse first. He's going to target this deep one, and his target does ignore obstacles, so he's going to be able to fire this up to 3 range with a white and black die. 1, 2, 3, targeting that guy. The reason I want to use him first is because then I want to try to increase the armor and will of one of my characters and decrease the armor and will of another character for that round. So Jesse's going to go ahead and use that force alternator. He's going to cost 2. Now, if I look at the card, I'm actually thinking about doing this right now. I could increase the armor and will by 1 this round for 2 stamina. I think I'm going to do that. 1, 2. I'm going to use the force alternator on himself, and I'm also going to use it on the deep one. And I can use it more than once because I've got enough stamina here. So we're going to use 2 more stamina to use it yet again. And this time we're going to go ahead and use it on Artemis. He's going to gain the 1 armor and 1 will. And we're going to use the other one to decrease the armor and will by 1 this round. 4. We're going to use it on that MyGo. And now we're going to go ahead and attack. So that was our total of 6 stamina. We used all our stamina to do all this, but I think it's going to be worth it. So our deep one has a 2 will now instead of a 3. And our force annihilator lets us roll a black and white, or an alternator. I keep calling it an annihilator. All right, we're going to see how we do. I need to get a 2. We got a 3. So I didn't need to use it on him, but it was still better to be safe than sorry. So we've gone ahead and killed our deep one. That's going to be awesome. So Jesse's going to gain 1 essence. And we're going to go ahead and discard our deep one, and we're going to remove his figure from the board and put him back in our stack. It's now Artemis's turn, and he's going to use his heavy javelin. And no, I'm not going to throw it. He's just going to attack adjacent for 2 stamina, and I get to roll 3 white dice. So we're going to bring our stamina down 2. So our MyGo here has only 2 defense. He got hit with that alternator, and our staff allows us, sorry, not staff, javelin allows us to roll 3 white dice. We're going to go ahead and roll these up, and hopefully we hit him. He only has 2 defense, and we got a billion. Look at that. 2, 4, 6, 8. Wow, 2, 4, well, okay, 6. I can't count, but that's enough to actually wound him once. Now I'm going to go ahead and use 2 more stamina to go ahead and use the javelin again to attack with my 3 dice here. Let's see how we do. Oh, and look at that. We got 2. That's just enough to kill him. So we've gone ahead and killed our MyGo. So we're going to go ahead and discard him. But of course he has this when this monster dies effect. It says attacker invokes an explorer event. So let's go do that. But first, let's remove our MyGo from the board and put him back in our standee stack. So we're going to go ahead and take our top event card, and hopefully it says everybody's healed to full. Captain's Horn. Now this is one specific for this scenario. Before we disappeared through the forsaken entrance on our long, terrible journey, Captain Nelson, commander of our beloved airship, called me aside. He put something in my hand roughly and whispered, "I reckon you'll be needing this here little contraption. It always served me and me boys well when fright soiled our pants. I hope it won't let ye down, for I fear a lot of soiling ahead of ye." And with that he winked and walked off, laughing merrily. I smile as I remember it now. Explorer uses their inventories. That's not really the greatest. Well, the good news is I get to equip a couple things for our gunmen, but that's all we get to do. Now, sadly, this isn't really the greatest event for us. I was really hoping for an anti-pants soiling horn, but instead we get to equip these. I'm going to go ahead and equip both of pretty much everything we have. He's going to have everything equipped. He can equip 2 of these single-handed weapons. That's just fine. And then we're going to go ahead and equip our artifact here, which is going to give us an extra, will, and of course on a new round I can move 1 space, and when you're activated recharge station I get to restore stamina. We're going to try to remember all that. That'll be really good. Now I also gain an essence for taking out that MyGo. One thing I forgot to do is we have to get and put an explored token on our chapter space. I forgot to do that when we activated it. There's so much going on. When you do activate one of these, you just put a token on it to show that it's explored. Now, if you were to ever destroy one of these spawn gates, then you would put a light token on this thing, and you only have to spend 1 stamina to activate it instead of 3 stamina and 3 essence. But we used it, so we're going to go ahead and put that there. Now, I still have 2 stamina left with Artemis, but there's really nothing to do with him. I can't move over my own guy because the rules state that when you go to move, you have to be able to move to an unoccupied space. And, well, I don't want to jump into the pits, and he's right here, and I don't want to go backwards. My goal is to kind of go off this tile to another tile so we can get some more chests and some more, workbenches and things like that to activate. So we're going to go into the spawn phase, and it's sitting at 6 right now. So we're going to go ahead and roll. Let's roll for Jesse first this time. And Jesse got a 10. There's another monster coming. All right, let's see what Jesse's found. There's not very many monsters left. We've seen almost all of them. Let's see what he finds. He has found a giant looking thing here. What's this? Buproth. All right. It's got 2 armor, 2 life, 2 willpower, and 5 stamina. And its goal is to come right up next to you and hit you. When this monster is hit, it moves 2 spaces toward the spawn space. Immediately move this monster up to 2 spaces. What does it say down here? It seemed shy at first, before we learned its true intention. All right, so he's going to go ahead and move 3 spaces. That's going to be awesome. But first we got to find his standee in our stack here. So now we're going to go put him on the board and activate his enters play ability. So he's going to spawn right here, and he is going to enter play and move 2 spaces. 1, 2. Awesome. All right, now it's Artemis's turn. Let's see how he does. He got a 7. Really? Another monster. Now we're going to go ahead and draw another monster. First, I'm going to put his health tokens on. I forgot to do that. We're going to see what we get this time. We found, oh, what's this guy? He looks really mean. He is a Thrall. He's got 3 attack, 4 against Arcane, 2 health, and 5 stamina. Wow. Invoke horror events. He's going to try to run up and invoke a horror event. This monster can move through units. Oh, that's going to be terrible. All right, we're going to put him there, and he's also going to gain 2 health. So we're going to go ahead and put those on him right here, and then find his standee and put him on the board. So again, we're going to spawn him right there. He's as close as he can be. So with our spawn phase done, wow, I must be playing this game wrong. All I do is find monsters and kill them. I can't ever get anywhere. We're going to go do our horror phase and roll the die. So with our horror rating at a 4, we have to roll less than a 4, and we rolled a 1. All right, we didn't have a horror event. So we're going to drop our horror rating to 3. And now we're going to move into our monster's turn, and we're going to start, of course, with our dog-like creature here. I don't know if it's a dog. Brupoth. I apologize if I said that wrong. He is going to use his 5 stamina to move up to us and try to hit us with his melee attack. So he's going to move 1, 2 to get as close as he can to me, and then he's still got 3 stamina left, so he is going to be able to attack with his 1 black and 1 white die. Now he is attacking Artemis. Artemis does still have the ability that, Jesse gave him. So he actually has a 3 defense. So we're going to go ahead and roll a black and white die and see what happens. We got a 4. So Artemis got hit again. So Artemis is going to have to lose an essence or he's going to die. So he is done. Now we're going to move into our Thrall's turn. Now our Thrall has a stamina of 5, and he's able to move through units. Now I don't think that's really going to help him that much, because he may be able to move through units, but he's not going to be able to do too much with it. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, now 4, 5. That's not going to help. He can't actually end his turn on any of that. So he's just going to stop right there. That's going to be where he ends his turn. And now we're going to go into our hero's turn, our explorer's turn. Again, this entire turn is probably going to be spent dealing with these monsters. So we're going to gain back all our stamina, going up to 6. And we're going to then attempt to destroy these monsters. Now, since it's the beginning of a new turn, I can go ahead and move 1 space because I have my reflexive sextant. On new round, move up to 1 space. And this is a new round. And of course, I can also get some more stuff when I activate things. Now, I can still attack him because I've got a range of 3 with my force alternator. And also, my character alone has a passive ability that allows me to gain +1, my increased range of your weapons, ranged abilities by 1. So I have an extra 1 range with this guy. So he's going to use 2 stamina to go ahead and use his force alternator against that, Brupoth. Now I also gave back the tokens. We don't get those anymore. Those only last 1 round. Now this Brupoth only has 2 defense against my attack. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my white and black die that I got from my force alternator and see how we do. We got a 3, so we hit him, so he's going to lose 1 health. Now then, according to his card, it says, when this monster is hit, it moves 2 spaces towards spawn space. So he's going to go ahead and move 1, 2. Oh, I don't think he can move through units like this guy can. Oh, he can move up towards this spawn space. So he's going to move 2 that way. And he's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away from me now. But that's okay, because I've got that alternator that has a 3 range, and I get +1 range because of my innate ability from Jesse. So we're again going to go and attack this guy and see if we can kill him. So Jesse's going to lose 2 stamina, and he's going to go and attack again. So here's our black and white dice. Let's see how it goes. We got a 3 again. We have taken out this creature. So we're going to go ahead and gain an essence, and we're going to discard the creature. So we're going to gain an essence. I guess in theory we're gaining 1 essence every turn because I lose 1, I get hit once, and then I kill 2 guys. We're then going to remove him from the board, and I'm going to discard this card into the discard pile. Now Jesse still has 2 stamina left. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to grab a new tile and put it out. Now to explore an adjacent map tile, we have to use 2 stamina, and we're going to go ahead and draw our tile from the bottom of our group here. And we found this tile. This tile looks pretty interesting. Let's take a look at it real quick. So here's the entrance. So we're going to put it down just like this. Now it looks like it has a spawn space here and a spawn space right here. So there's a couple spawn spaces. There are some treasure chests and exploration areas. We've got a workbench tucked in way back here. We've got, oh, this is a new one right over here. We have an exploding barrel. We haven't seen this before. When you hit an exploding barrel with a ranged or push somebody into it or something, it's going to explode and affect everyone around it for damage. So we're going to put that right here. And now that's explored. Doesn't mean we move onto it, but we have explored the tile, so we can move into this tile next turn and start exploring that as well. Now to do that, it's going to cost him his last 2 stamina. Now I've got 2 options with this Thrall. He's got 3 defense and he's got 2 health. I could move 1 over here and attack him with that javelin a couple times and hopefully take him out. Or I can use that neat little maneuver where I just throw him right in the pit. Now if I do that, I don't gain an essence, and I think we really need to be getting essence. That's really the key here. So I am going to move over 1, and we're going to attack him with my javelin. So to attack with my javelin, it's going to cost me 2 stamina, but I get to roll 3 attack dice, so this will be pretty good. So I'm going to drop my stamina by 2, and then I had to drop it by 1 for moving. And now let's see if we can get him. So our Thrall, of course, has his 3 defense, and I get to roll 3 white dice, and we get to try to see if we can do some damage to him. Here's his little health chips. Let's see how we do. We got that 2, 4, 6 roll again. That's my favorite roll ever, as long as I'm rolling it. And we did 1 damage. Now we're going to do it again. We're going to drop our stamina by 2 and try to hit him again, and we got the 3. Wow, that was right on the money here. For 3, we hit him again. He is done. We're going to gain an essence. So he's going to go back up to 3 here. He's going to drop 2 more stamina, and then he's going to use his last stamina to move. So we're going to take our standee off the board, put our Thrall right into the discard pile, and we're going to move 1 square back from where we came. We didn't even move anywhere yet. We can move 1 square. So again, our explorer's turns are over. We're going to go into the spawn phase. And our spawn rating is still sitting at 6. Now, we need to still try to do this to complete the chapter. One thing you can do, now you know our guys are both at 1 health. We could go ahead and take a damage, but then use the essence to actually counteract the actual hit of the health thing. You can't actually heal with essence, but you can prevent damage from essence. So I could actually go ahead and use the essence instead of taking the health damage. I hope that makes sense. So instead of taking health, I'm going to be taking essence, and we might start doing that so we can go on to the next chapter. As long as we can get through this spawn phase without actually having a ton of monsters happen. So Jesse's going to go ahead and roll first, and let's see what he gets. I got a 9, another enemy. All right, let's go ahead and spawn a monster. All right, we only have 1 monster left. Let's see what it is. What's this? Witch. The witch is going to, well, it has no armor. Oh, I'm just going to wreck this thing. All right, 4 stamina. Destroy target action space. Arcane attack 1, 2 against explorers. And it has a range of 2, and it can go through anything. Oh my gosh. And how much does it cost? 2? Oh, she's going to be able to do this twice. Otherwise, if she's at a melee, she's going to be able to arcane attack for 3. Okay, we're going to put her down. She only has 1 health, but she's going to attack me twice, and she's going to really do a lot of damage to me. So we're going to go ahead and put her standee up on the board. And it is going to spawn right here, and it's 2 squares away from Artemis, so Artemis is going to start just getting attacked by this thing. Oh, that's not going to be good. Now it's Artemis's turn. Let's see if he spawns something. He got a 2. Oh, finally, I only have to deal with 1 monster this turn. So we're going to lower our spawn rating to 5, and then we're going to go into the horror phase, which we are at a 3 right now. So we're going to go ahead and roll our die and see what happens. We got a 7, so we have to deal with a horror event and 1 monster this turn. That's better than 2 monsters in a horror event. So we're going to put our marker back up to 4. So we're going to have to go ahead and raise this up by 1. We're almost to level 2. And let's again see what horrors befall our adventurers. Thrashing mania. Frozen by fear, we watched in terror as the monsters worked themselves into a frenzy. We've never witnessed such rage. They thrashed themselves about furiously, destroying everything in their vile wake. We knew it wouldn't be long before we all suffered the same fate, and could envision them crushing our skulls like one might pop a grape. What does it do? Destroy target action space. 2 range and 2 essence and melee. This actually might save me. This might save me. All right, we're going to put that here, and we're just going to put this little token on top of it to remind myself that this thing's still going. And we're going to go into our monster phase. All right, so we might actually get kind of lucky here. This witch, in order to of operation here, since they're mindless still, the first thing this witch is going to try to do is activate the horror card that's in play right now. And the horror card right now, like we've read before, is this trashing mania. So she is going to then use 2 of her stamina at a melee range to destroy an action space. This trap is considered an action space, so she is going to destroy that. So we're going to go ahead and put one of these tokens down right there. So that's 2 of her stamina. She only has 4. Now, there is another action space right down here, but I would have to move to get to it. So that isn't going to happen, because the next thing it can do is what's on its card. It can actually spend 2 stamina and 2 range to destroy an action space and an arcane attack and explore. So she's going to go ahead and do that next. So she's going to destroy this. I'm going to go ahead and put a token there. And then she's going to attack Artemis because he only has 1 health. Well, I guess I could have him target her because it's 1, 2, 1, 2. It could target either one of those because they have the same amount of health. Oh, wait, we got to check this out. I think I'm going to get really unlucky. Arcane attack, 1 black and 1 white. Explorers. I believe she's going to be able to hit everybody kind of in this radius. I think that's the deal here. That's going to be sad. So our witch is going to try to use her arcane attack. And it does say explorers, so I believe it's going to go after both of our characters. So we're going to have to roll a black and white die. Now, both our characters have a defense of 3 against arcane. Now, we're only going to roll these dice once. If you attack multiple characters with an attack, you only roll 1 set of dice. I did that wrong in the last video. So we're going to go ahead and roll these dice and see what happens. We only got a 2. That's awesome. Neither of our characters are going to get hit by this attack. So this is kind of the moment I've been waiting for. We're going to go ahead and take our 6 stamina, and we only have to take care of 1 enemy, and I think we're going to be able to do some really good stuff this turn. Now, since this is the start of a new round, he gets to move 1 square thanks to that artifact, and he's going to go first. He's going to shoot her 1, 2, 3 squares away just with his normal attack here that he has. He's got a normal attack of 1. So that's all he needs, and it's 2 stamina and 3 range. Now, of course, this can't fire through obstacles, but there are no obstacles blocking his path here. So he's just going to fire 1, 2, 3. He rolls 1 white die. Now, our witch only has 0. She has 0. So as long as I don't roll a blank on this, we're going to get her. All right, I got a 2. That's good enough. That's going to take care of her health. She is done. We're going to get an essence for that. So Jesse's going to lose 2 stamina for the shot, gain an essence. Now, he can only have a max of 5. He's at 4. We're going to remove our witch standee, and we're going to discard our card into the discard pile. Look, we've gone through every single level 1 monster. Well, if you want to see what all the level 1 monsters are, just watch my playthrough. You'll see them all. Now, Jesse is going to then move 1, 2, 3 up to there, meaning he's going to lose 1, 2, 3 stamina. But for his last stamina, he's going to use a recharge station. And when he does, he gets to activate this. When you activate a recharge station, restore 1 stamina. So he's going to automatically gain back a stamina, but then we also get to roll a die. And we also have to place a token on this to show that we've done it. So I'm really hoping to see some health on this die, so we can maybe get this chapter moving. Oh, we got 3 stamina. Okay, that's not too bad either, because I can use that right now. So he's going to gain 1, 2, 3 stamina. He's already back to 4. That's amazing. And since I'm here, I might as well activate one of these. This is going to be awesome. So we're going to go ahead and put a token there, and then we're going to go ahead and lose our stamina. It costs us 3. 1, 2, 3, but we do gain an essence. Now he's at max essence, so hopefully the thing we draw doesn't give him more essence. All right, let's see what kind of event card we get this time. Welcomed gift. My eyes was caught by a peculiar chest laying amidst the rubble. A closer examination of the strongbox revealed a sturdy lock with a set of symbols that clearly needed to be set in the exact sequence. Tinkered with this for a while to no avail, and finally smashed the latch open. Gain item. Oh, that's going to be great. All right, we're going to go ahead and see what we can find. So gain item is awesome. I get to, again, grab 2 items. I'm going to grab another consumable, hopefully some healing. We're going to grab an apparel, and we can find something good to wear. We found, what's this? Pulse grenade. Oh my gosh. Attack 2 black, 2 white, and then we also get to attack everyone around him. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that lined up enough. What's this? Scryer. Look at the top 2 cards of any item deck and reorder them. Oh, it gives me more of this. That's not going to be too bad either. I might just take this, and then I'm pretty much almost maxed out in armor. I don't think this grenade is ever really going to come into play. This would be really neat to make happen, but I don't think I'm good enough to set an attack like that up. So we're going to go ahead and take our scryer. Wow, this guy just keeps filling up with items. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this on. He's got so many items, and the other guy's got 1. Now, he does have 1 stamina left. He's not going to use that. What he's going to do is he's going to take 1 damage to go ahead and start working on our chapter. So he's going to take 1 damage, which would kill him. So instead, we're going to take an essence. That's 1. We're going to do it again, 2, and we're going to do it again to 3. And that's going to be the end of his turn. So we're going to go ahead and put 3 of his tokens here to signify that we've done 3. We only need to do 1 more. And now it's actually going to be Artemis's turn. And the first thing Artemis is going to do is he's just going to go ahead and take that damage. And he's going to go ahead and put it on the chapter. So with Artemis's token here, that's all 4. We have completed this chapter. We're going to go on to chapter 3. And that's going to happen in the next video. Oh, I left you on a cliffhanger. We don't even know what's going to be chapter 3, but it's going to be awesome to find out. This has been such a fun playthrough. We went through so many monsters this time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying it. If you are, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell symbol so you know when the next video is coming. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I appreciate all the help. I got so many great comments in the last video that helped us learn and be able to play this game better. I appreciate each and every person that does comment to me. And if you're excited to see if Artemis and Jesse can make it through the next chapter, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop.